And today we'll be reflecting on some of the most memorable moments from the show and highlight key takeaways while looking ahead at all of the things AVIXA and the broader AV community has in store. Ben, good to see you on our last day here at the show. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, slightly nervous with our CEO, Dave Labuskes, sitting next to us because we all saw what happened live on the show yesterday.
I did.
Dave, have you made up with Jeff yet?
You know, he's been running. He's been hiding. I didn't think that I should look near the puppies, but that's probably where he's at.
That's probably it.
Exactly. I haven't seen him anywhere. Like, he left the show pretty shaken up yesterday.
No,
so,
plus,
shouldn't talk smack.
certainly not in front of the CEO.
Absolutely. Well, we're very honored, obviously, to have our CEO here, Dave Labuskes, here with us. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today on AVIXA TV. So you were our guest at our inaugural AVIXA TV. I know we've come a long way. Our seat heights, I think, have gotten a little bit better. We're all in line. So, you know, it's all the little things in that TV magic. So just wanted to get your idea of, you know, where have things grown? You know, we've been working with Ross here at AVIXA TV and really grown our production. So how are you seeing things in a digital space in terms of AVIXA's growth?
This is amazing. This is, with respect to AVIXA's digital growth, I mean, we have so many different ways that we can reach out and attract people, bring them into our audience and have conversations with them. You know, ultimately, you can't ask somebody to come to a trade show that doesn't know anything about you. And the way people learn about us nowadays is it starts online. But we've all done the Google search for XYZ and spent 10 seconds or 2 seconds looking at a web page. The kind of programs you guys are putting together here on AVIXA TV, the kind of things that are happening at Exchange Live, and beyond that, all around the show, are what get people to be curious and to engage with us. I mean, look at where this is at compared to where it was just a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we actually have talent on the set as well. I mean,
so to speak.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, and obviously we couldn't do it without everyone working behind the scenes as well, and the partnership with Ross Video that we've secured this year has been absolutely fantastic. So, but speaking of the wider reason why we're here, the actual show, I mean, it's been incredible. We've been here doing a lot of the stuff, but in between we've managed to go out onto the show floor and have a look around. And there's been so much energy. Can you pick out some highlights yourself of the show this year?
This morning, I mean, to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you
that
know,
goes without saying.
You know, after that, deep second. I'm totally jazzed about the esports thing that we're doing. That's another one that I think is just a perfect sweet spot of why AVIXA is on this planet and what AV is all about. It attracts a diverse audience. It brings kids in, young people in, and it is a really cool blending of all the technologies we do. At the time we spent opening the esports activation on Wednesday morning and honoring Brad Sousa was a highlight. And then finally, the Wednesday morning, I have a volunteer recognition breakfast where people like Jeff Day, I have an opportunity to thank them for, in his case, 7 years of service on our board as a volunteer, and really driving and laying some of the seeds for this studio, for Exchange, while he was there. And so that's always a really emotional thank you and goodbye for me.
Absolutely, and it's so great, especially as you say with the esports arena and all that kind of stuff that's going on there. The fact that it honors Brad's legacy, like he was so passionate about that, and the fact that it continues on is just so touching. And we've had so many people. We had a special segment dedicated to speaking about that, but then it seems to be that there's been several segments that we've done where people just bring up Brad's name. And that's essentially what we want to keep doing, because he was such a great guy and such an inspiration to the industry. So yeah, really good to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to see what's continuing to go on with that Impact Fund, and even the students, and how we're working with them to continue to advance their careers and introduce them into the careers in the AV industry. So yeah, it's been amazing. And I know you've been running around all InfoComm and meetings and networking events and everything. So your ear, I know, is always to the ground. So what have been some of your conversations with folks around the show about like some of the main talking points, like some of the things that you're hearing on the floor in terms of the show and our industry that you're hearing when you're out and about?
Well, I'm hearing nothing but compliments about the show.
Great.
People, I guess in some ways, somebody made the comment to me that this is the InfoComm we were supposed to have in 2020, and that it feels like they're home again, which is music to my ears. That's everything we try to wrap around it. Of course, we want to make sure it's a commercially successful show for our exhibitors. We want to make sure that it's a great experience for the attendees. But all of that gets summarized, if we do it really, really well, gets summarized as it feels like home. The trends and talks, the aspects of the industry itself and where we're heading. I don't know if you guys have heard the phrase AI at all.
It has come up.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
I think that's reflective of its potential. Maybe not reflective of its reality today, but certainly reflective of its potential. And this is one of those areas where we've been doing this for quite a while, actually. Usually AV, it tends to be a little bit of a lagging industry with the adoption of some of these technologies, but we didn't all call it AI, but we've had this capability built into cameras and loudspeakers and microphones for probably 5-6 years at this point. Mm-hmm. So it's actually exciting to see where that's heading.
Yeah, and it's really, I think it's really cool that the two shows that I mostly get involved with are the ISE show, obviously in Barcelona, and then this show. And it's only really kind of two main touch points each year where you get to have those conversations, me personally. And it's interesting to see how that AI piece is moving on. At first there was a lot of fear around it. Mm-hmm. Now it's more of a, okay, it's probably not a standalone product for us yet, but it can certainly help to improve the way that we do things and all that kind of thing. But certainly something to watch. And speaking of shows and how
no. Which one of them is your favorite?
Yeah, well, I mean, I couldn't.
You brought it up.
Yeah. Couldn't possibly pick.
You want
to get
some
Jeff
of
Day in
this?
here for a second
Okay,
version.
let me
I need a
just step
distraction.
on back.
I need a distraction. But speaking of shows, no sooner is this one going to end, then you're going to be off to another one, I'm sure. So what's next on your calendar for shows?
Our next show is Bangkok in July, InfoComm Asia. Mm-hmm. That's a terrific show. It's growing really fast. It's really, I think this is our third year, and the first year was in 2019 before COVID. And so we started it, and then it was on hold for a couple years. Mm-hmm. That region of the world is an amazingly fast-growing market for our technology, and the people are hungry for learning. And this serves as a place for us to be able to act as that hub for the profession. Every show we do is different. Mm-hmm. I should also use that as my excuse to plug InfoComm America Latina, which we announced a couple months ago and being held in October of next year at Mexico City. Again, it is a home for our industry when we have a show in a region, and it's really nice to be able to bring that back into Latin America.
Mm.
Fantastic. And I know we opened up the show with a really wonderful opportunity at the Sphere.
Yeah.
And so the opening ceremony we had, can you tell us a little bit about how that went? I want to hear, like, did you enjoy the show? Like, what were your thoughts of that?
The Sphere experience, excuse me, got InfoComm voice.
Exactly.
The Sphere, describing the Sphere is like describing chocolate ice cream. Like, you have to eat it. You have to taste it. It's amazing. We've all probably had this experience of going to an IMAX theater or going and seeing Mission Impossible in a 4D theater, but what Sphere did is it just completely beyond any of that experience. It was the it was the perfect place to open our event and to open the doors of our home. I don't know if any of you have the same problem. You probably do when you're talking to somebody about what do you do for a living, and you say I work with the professional AV industry, and they're like, huh? Right? and at this point, I can say, oh, have you seen the Sphere in Vegas?
Exactly.
And they're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that's what we do, how could we not have the most awesome party in the world there to open our show?
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, now we just say we're talk show hosts, right? We
Yeah.
don't talk about the AV industry anymore.
We
you know.
don't.
We transcended. No, totally.
Well, you're a big deal now.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. But good lead-in, because we've got a segment later on where we're going to be speaking to a couple of the people who are involved with the Sphere. So yeah, thank you for helping us out with that. We wish you all the best for the last day of the show. Hope it's a good one for you. And yeah, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you.